friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and I am so excited that you decided to take time out of your day to spend with me, because today we are doing a bit of a combination of a video. We are talking my summer TBR, but also setting up my TBR / wrap up table. This is what I will be using instead of a cart. It used to be in our living room. It's just a coffee table with some books in there as like decoration, but when we moved we got a different coffee table and decided to bring this one up here. And instead of getting a TBR cart, which I don't have anyway, I decided to just use her. Why not? Repurposing, if you will. I know that at this point we're past midway through July, but summer is not over yet. So we will talk about some of the books that I put on my TBR for this summer, give you a sneak peek of what I have already read / am currently reading, and we will just go from there. So take this as a late July / August TBR, and we'll call it that. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and hop into this video. Okay, so the first book that I will be adding to my summer TBR is going to be Gabriella and His Grace. This is the third and final book in the Luna Sisters series by Liana de la Rosa, and these are historical romances about three sisters who are from Mexico but had to flee to England because of the French occupation. And so this is their stories about falling in love, trying to connect with the Ton to get them to help with, the French occupation and things like that. And I've really enjoyed the other two that I have read, and hopefully I can finish the series out this summer. And this one we're following Gabriella, who is the youngest and most rebellious daughter. Next up is one that I am not only currently reading but have about 100 pages left in, and that is Love Galaxy by Sierra Bronham. I don't know. But anyway, this is a sci-fi book where we are following two heirs to the what is it called? It's not a kingdom because they're in space. So we're just going to say the Empire. So they're the heirs to the Empire. And so they will host this intergalactic reality dating show where they will select their consorts. Basically, we have a reality dating show in space. And we have Nix, who is the brother who will eventually take over after his mother is done ruling the empire or whatever. And we have Spy and she is kind of seen as the fun sister, the one who doesn't really have a care in the world and just kind of seen as like the sexual being, and both of them like women. And so yeah, and then we have our main character Timmy. And Timmy lives on one of the farthest out planets. They're just really poor, have really bad environments. Timmy is a trash collector and runs into Nix and Spy, and this scandal happens in some kind of way. She ends up cast on this show where she's supposed to be there for one sibling, right? But then she starts developing feelings for the other sibling. You want some yarning? Yeah. Okay, so another one that I am currently reading, I haven't gotten that far into it. I think I'm about 66 pages in. That is The Stars Undying by Emery Robin. This is the first book in the Empire Without End duology. And in this, we are following Altagracia, who is the princess with the silver tongue. She's lost everything. After a bloody civil war, her twin sister has claimed the crown of their planet and the pearl of its prophecy, a computer that contains the immortal soul of a god. So she teams up with this powerful commander named Matthias, is it Siren? Something like that. And she wins him over, and they, go on, I don't want to say quest, but anyway, they, Gracia finds herself kind of caught between what he wants and the demands of the God who whispers in her ear. So basically, we have a fight between twin sisters for the it's not a throne, they're oracles. So they're fighting for this oracle position, put it that way. And this is also a sci-fi book. It's so funny that I'm reading two sci-fis about twins, and I didn't even realize that until this moment. But yeah, we have Love is an Algorithm by Laura Brooke Robson. In this, we are following Eve, who wants to make music that's fueled by love, passion, and rage. She trusts her gut and her friends, and in no way wants to rely on technology, let alone AI, to tell her how she feels. Danny is anxious about his dad, his dating life, his coffee order, and about the dating app he helped create, which seems determined to serve him terrible matches. When Eve and Danny start dating, it feels like the solution to all of Danny's worries, except when it doesn't. Is she happy? Should he be doing more or less? This becomes the catalyst for a revolutionary new version of Danny's app that promises to quantify relationship health and potential, helping users understand what's really going on. As Pattern and Bug, the ever so friendly AI assistant, catch fire, users everywhere begin outsourcing major life decisions to Danny's algorithms. But as Danny reckons with his newfound success, Eve, whose career relies on her ability to write emotions into song, grows increasingly skeptical of the app's impact on genuine connection. The relationship becomes the ultimate modern experiment. How do you fall and stay in love in the digital age? And I think this will have some really good conversations about AI and how people are using it. And if you did not know, this is an anti-AI channel. So if you have any problems with that, you can find the door. But anyway, yeah, I think this will have some interesting conversations, and I want to see what it has to say about it. We have Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This is the first book in the Curve series. I've already read the second, but it just felt wrong to read this any other time than summer. So now I think it's the perfect time to read this. We have Aaliyah, who after a one-night stand with her clingy ex has an epiphany. This ain't it. She knows what she wants, and she's ready to move past casual hookups, flings, and situationships. But for her family, the clock is ticking. After all, she's almost 30. And when they imply that her personality and her body might be too big to land a man, she lets them know they've gone too far. And her non-existent man loves her curves. Thank you very much. Now she has 7 weeks to find the perfect boyfriend to rub in their faces at the big fancy birthday celebration she's been planning. After her first bond date goes wrong, charming local bartender Ahmad consoles her with a drink and some playful banter. Aaliyah takes him up on his suggestion to use a dating app, but the more she sees of his warm, funny, easygoing nature, the less she wants to check her DMs. Will her next swipe bring her closer to true love, or is her real match closer than she thinks? Let's find out, friend. Why is this font so small? But anyway, I am excited to pick this up. Next up is the newest release from Christina Forrest, and that is The Summer Girlfriend. Really excited to pick this up. We're following Noelle, who doesn't have time for long walks on the beach, brunch with the girls, or summer vacations. She's too busy saving up to go back to college. After recently getting laid off from her book-selling job, her main gig is now serving as a stand-in bridesmaid, which doesn't pay enough for the upcoming semester's tuition. But then the perfect, if unconventional, opportunity arises. Jeremiah, son of the founder of Smith's Sweets, once lived a life of frivolity. Since his grandfather's death, Jeremiah's tried to clean up his act, but it's hard to focus when his family requests that he joins them at their summer house in Hart Beach, New Jersey, where his most painful memory lies. To avoid going there, Jeremiah says that he already has plans with his girlfriend, and of course his family tells him to bring her. But the problem is Jeremiah does not have a girlfriend. So after this chance meeting, Noelle and Jeremiah come to an agreement. He'll hire her to be his stand-in girlfriend, and she'll use those funds for her tuition. But friends, you already know what's going to happen. What always happens when there's fake dating. And so yeah, I need to read this. Okay, so next up, I actually need to continue the series before I start forgetting stuff. And this is These Infinite Threads by Tahira Mafi. This is the second book in the This Woven Kingdom series, and I really enjoyed that, and I just kind of forgot I was reading the series. So yeah, I definitely need to go ahead and pick this book up before I start forgetting details, because we don't have time for a reread right now. So yeah, I am ready to see where we pick up with the story, because I know we ended with some reveals and some interesting information and a little bit of a cliffy. So yeah, I want to know what our girl, what's her name, Elise, is that it? Whatever her name is, I really liked her, so I'm ready to see what she is up to. Also, in the vein of continuing series, friend, I need to pick up the Shadow Cabinet. I have probably put this on a lot of TBRs at this point. I read Her Majesty's Royal Coven last year, so if I don't pick this up soon, I'm gonna need to reread, and baby just ain't got time for that right now. Well, I do want to do some rereads this summer too, but not particularly of this book. So yeah, we need to go ahead and pick up the second installment in the Her Majesty's Royal Coven trilogy. And in this one, we're following a group of childhood friends and witches who must choose between what's right and what's easy if they have any hope of keeping their world from tearing apart forever. And I really liked this series. I like Jenna Dawson's writing. It's a witchy, fun time. She has a lot of social commentary that I think was written really well and relevant to the story. So yeah, I think this is the last sequel that I have to go on the table. Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert. I think this is book 8 in the Dark Olympus series. I need to get this read because my plan is to finish all 10 books this year, and I have yet to read one, so we need to get started. And Sweet Obsession is following Icarus and Poseidon. I can't really tell you about this book because there is a big overarching plot throughout all 10 books. Even though they do follow specifically different couples, there are callbacks to other things going on in the series, and I don't want to spoil that for you, but I just love this series so much. It's just a spicy good time. And yeah, I lied because this book is also technically a sequel, even if it is, I think, an interconnected standalone, and that is The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop. If you don't know, one of my favorite romance books of all time is Only for the Weak, and so of course I needed to pick up the sequel to that, and that is the Forever Falling series. So in The Art of Loving You, we're following Danny Jenkins, who is a boss, a model turned influencer. She doesn't have time for taking a risk on romance. She prefers to keep things casual, but when her mentor Tanya dies, she is brought face to face with a man who broke her heart. Artist Micah is a protector who loves fiercely. He's known as a man everyone can count on, but he's never forgiven himself for letting down Danny, the woman he still loves. With Tanya's dying wish forcing Danny and Micah back together to complete a scavenger hunt road trip, Micah sees a chance for them to get things right. Tensions are high as their undeniable connection reignites, but Danny refuses to let her guard down. As they travel, Micah is determined to prove to Danny that love is worth fighting for. Can she release her fears and relearn the art of loving? Next, we have Mayhem and the Mortal by Shanora Williams, and this is, I think, the first in a series where we're following Zyra, who doesn't want a hero, she needs a weapon. To save her sister from a soul-devouring curse, she has to cross the Shallows, a nightmare landscape of ruined magic, shifting paths, and vicious creatures that eat people alive. Her guide, Thane Valcor, sorcerer assassin, walking red flag. His name clears rooms, his magic kills quietly, and whatever he's really after, it's not salvation. He promises to help, he might even mean it, but Zara knows better than to trust a liar with a blade and ice in his veins. She just doesn't have a choice. And this is supposed to be a little bit on the comedic side as well. So I'm hoping that I really enjoy this one. I have liked Shanora Williams' writing before. So, you know, I feel like this will do it for me. I just be lying to y'all, and I don't do it on purpose. I'm sorry, but at least I admit when I have lied. You know what I'm saying? And so I have another sequel I forgot about, The Battle Drum by Sarah L. Arifi. This is the second book in the Ending Fire trilogy. And friends, I read The Final Strife sometime last year, but if I don't read this soon, I'm going to really forget everything. I'm already teetering on the edge. My only problem is this series is heavy emotionally. And, you know, it's just hard. There are a lot of heartbreaking things that happen in this series, but I just need to suck it up and read it so I don't forget, and so I can finish the series this year. So we'll see if it happens. I'm not real sure, but we'll see. Next up is The Compound by Aislinn Raleigh. And this is a sci-fi book that is another reality show situation where we follow Lily, who wakes up on a remote desert compound along with 19 other contestants on a popular reality TV show. To win, she must outlast her housemates while competing in challenges for luxury rewards such as champagne and lipstick, and communal necessities to outfit their new home, like food, appliances, and a front door. The cameras are catching all of her angles, good and bad, but Lily has no desire to leave. Why would she when the world outside is falling apart? As the competition intensifies, intimacy between the players deepens, and it becomes increasingly difficult to distinguish between desire and desperation. When the producers raise the stakes, forcing contestants into upsetting, even dangerous situations, the line between playing the game and surviving it begins to blur. If Lily makes it to the end, she'll receive prizes beyond her wildest dreams, but what will she have to do to win? And this is been comped as like a mix between Love Island and I think Lord of the Flies, something like that. And so, I love a good reality show book. And so I think this is going to do it for me. It's pretty short. It's definitely giving summer, and I want to know. Okay, and the last book to go on this table for my summer TBR is going to be The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. I've had this book for a while, been wanting to read it for a while. It just has not happened, but it needs to happen this summer. So in this, we're following rival ornithologists who hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com. And we follow Beth, who is on the verge of finally capturing the rare death whistler bird when Professor Devon Lockley swoops in. Devon, one of them, stealing both her bird and her imagination like a villain, albeit a handsome and charming villain, but that's besides the point. As someone highly educated in the ruthless discipline of ornithology, Beth knows trouble when she sees it, and she is determined to keep her distance from Devon. That's what I'm gonna call him. For his part, Devon has never been more smitten than when he first set eyes on Professor Beth. She's so pretty, so polite, so capable of bringing down a fiery, deadly bird using only her wits. In other words, an angel. Devon understands he must not get close to her, however, since they're professional rivals, win a competition to become Birder of the Year by capturing an endangered Caladrius bird is announced. Beth and Devon are forced to team up to have any chance of winning. Now keeping their distance becomes a question of one bed or two. But they must take the risk because foul play is afoot and they can't trust anyone else. For all may be fair in love and war, but this is ornithology. And I just feel like I'm going to eat this up. Okay, so now that we have all the physical books that are on my summer TBR, we are going to talk about some of the ones that I don't own that I want to get read this summer as well. Let us start off with what I have already read, just to get it out the way. The first one is The Daisy Chain Flower Shop by Laurie Gilmore. I think this is the 6th book in the Dream Harbor series. Yeah, in this one, we are following Daisy, who is fed up being unlucky in love. And after several weddings she has done the flowers for and in divorce, her beloved flower shop has gained a reputation of being cursed, thanks to Mayor Kelly and his infamous visions. Elliot is a newcomer who is adjusting to town following his own relationship turmoil, and until now he's avoided the flower shop at all costs. If the mayor is correct, he doesn't need any more bad luck in his life. So as the petals blossom in the sunlight, Daisy and Elliot might find that love comes when you're least expecting it. So this is a fake dating type situation. He falls first, small town, found family, and we do get cameos from our other characters in the previous books. So yeah, and I think that's the only one that I've read so far that is on this summer TBR. So let's just run through the other ones. We have Homeward for a Spell by Rebecca Potos and Jamie Paxton, and this is the follow-up to Homegrown Magic. And in this, we follow Sage, who has made her living as a ranger, moving constantly between adventuring parties, but has never had the chance to lead one. So when she's offered the chance to hire a crew of her own in pursuit of a rare magical artifact, it seems like a dream come true. Until she learns that they're headed for the most inhospitable part of the kingdom, with winter looming. Still, it's a chance to finally put her name on the map, and how bad could it really be? Arafi has always loved music in defiance of her powerful family's priorities. All she wants is one last chance to perform before she's married to a man she does not love for the good of the family. So when she sees a poster seeking a bard for a party, she eagerly sneaks away to audition, only to discover that the party in question is no festival, but an adventuring party led by a woman she's been fascinated with since she first laid eyes on her. It's an unexpected twist, but if she takes the job, she'll be back in time for her own wedding. And how bad could it really be? Sage was one of my favorite side characters from the first one, so yeah, I want to see what her story is going to be giving. Next up is The Desert Heiress by Shoshana Rain. This is the first book in the 7-star Empire series. And in the desert ports of Sinefra, maybe? The sunrose is lifeblood, a magical plant with the ability to grant people greater abilities. Sale of the plant is strictly forbidden, its growth restricted only to farms owned by the Empire Shipping Company. Lacia has only wanted one thing, to run the syndicate smuggling it, but her family has been cut off for over a century, forced to advise but never leave. When the government cracks down on all illegal exports, Lise is ready to seize her opportunity. To do so, she must best her 3 rivals. Philip, Deo, and Adrian each want to court her, control her, cajole her into doing what they want. Lacia finds herself drawn into their complicated web, but to survive, she must learn if she can trust them or if she must cut them down before they can do the same. And this is a slow burn MMMF. Why choose fantasy with a guaranteed HEA, and it contains both MM and FF scenes and involves the FMC in a relationship before getting involved with her main love interest, just so you know all the tea. Next up, we have One Week in Paradise by Anise Starr. And in this one, we follow disgraced influencer Bailey, who is invited to go on an all-expenses-paid trip to a couples-only resort in Jamaica. This is a perfect opportunity to rebuild her brand. The only problem is she is not currently in a relationship. Enter the effortlessly handsome Caspian Cash Reed, who just so happens to be her brother's best friend. He's never seemed to like Bailey, but when Dane jokingly suggests Cash accompany her to Jamaica and get a free holiday, Bailey can't get the idea out of her head. Surprisingly, Cash agrees to be her fake boyfriend, all in the name of content. Their agreement is simple enough, but One Week in Paradise brings them closer than ever before an undeniable spark ignites between them. But Bailey has secrets, and the closer they get to one another, the closer Cash gets to unraveling her shameful past. As the lines blur between their fake dating arrangement and their real feelings, will Bailey let Cash into her life, or will she let her past destroy her future? What more do you need than a sunny, beachy, fake dating romance? Nothing. In the vein of finishing series, we have The Relationship Mechanic, which is actually the second book in the Peach Blossom series. I read them out of order. I do it all the time. It's fine. And so in this one, we will be following Jessica, who came to Peach Blossom for Peach, not Beach. Blossom for a visit, not a breakdown. But when her rental car dies on the outskirts of town, mechanic Lavinia, who goes by Vinny, provides a tow and a very welcome jumpstart to Jessica's heart. It's been a minute since Jessica's last fling, her relationship specialty, and Vinny checks all the right boxes. If only the sexy car whisperer seemed interested. Vinny knows herself and what she wants. She loves her job, her family, her hometown, but she'd love to fall in love. Jessica stirs up all the right feelings, but the city girl has no intention of staying in Peach Blossom. Why sign up for a broken heart? But the temptation is real as Vinny goes out of her way to drive a carless Jessica around town. The pair can't seem to keep their distance or their hands to themselves. With only 6 weeks to figure out their red-hot chemistry and where it may lead, Vinny and Jessica will have to decide if home can be where the heart is when the heart only knows how to run. and I plan on listening to the audiobook of this. Next up is The Secret to a Southern Wedding by Cynthia Williams. This is the first book in the Peachtree Cove series. Again, one that I read out of order, so I'm kind of working my way back to this one. It's been years since Dr. Imani Kemp has returned home to Peachtree Cove, Georgia. As Tallahassee's most sought after OBGYN, she doesn't have much time for anything else. But when her mom invites her to a surprise wedding to a man that she only met on a dating app, the pragmatic Imani knows she has to put a stop to this. What she believes will be an easy task turns difficult when the handsome son of her potential stepfather insists on blocking her efforts to keep their parents apart. Cyril Dash and his father relocated to Peachtree Cove to escape the rumors and speculations surrounding his mother's tragic death. Now they finally found peace and made a life in this quirky small town. Most importantly, after years of grief, his dad has finally found happiness again, and Cyril refuses to let Imani's suspicions and skepticism stand in the way. He aims to show her his dad's feelings are real, but unexpectedly, the attraction between him and Imani becomes something neither can deny. Now, I'm going into this a little skeptically because no, they aren't step siblings yet, but it sounds like they're about to be. And friend, I don't know. We'll have to see about that one. The last currently reading for me is We Met Like This by Casey West, and I'm reading this on my Kindle because it is on Kindle Unlimited. Margot is a hopeless romantic. That's why she wants to be a literary agent to help bring romance books to the world. It's also why she hates dating apps with all her romance-loving soul. She wants her own love story to be just as much fun as the book she reads, a mixed-up coffee order, a mistaken identity. She's not going to tell the story that she swiped right on her future husband's shirtless pic for the rest of her life. The problem is that her most consistent relationship over the last several years is with Oliver, a guy she keeps rematching with on the apps. They've only been on one date and it was a disaster. Well, until the makeout session in the car before parting ways. When Margaret gets fired from her job on the same day she meets Oliver again, her life becomes a veritable shit show. But in her scramble to keep her dream career alive by opening her own agency, Oliver is there with his golden retriever energy, more steady and helpful than any man she's ever dated. Just when she thinks she's overcome her app bias, she realizes that maybe it's not her who's holding back but him, and his reasons are more than she bargained for. Next up is Wrath of the Stars by Naomi Mitchell. This is the first book in the Zodiac Court series. With elements of Greek mythology and astrology woven together, this story follows Princess Libra, fourth born daughter of Queen Cancer and King Capricorn and defender of the Zodiac. She was chosen by the Elder to be the next leader of the Milky Way galaxy when she was just a child. She was promised a peaceful, prosperous reign, though everything changes when King Andromedus, a powerful warmonger known for murdering monarchs and conquering galaxies, demands to marry Libra. Knowing that he plans to murder her and take her galaxy, Libra decides that a rushed marriage before Andromedus arrives is the only way to save her life. Ever the strategist, Libra strikes a deal with the notorious rake Lord Orion, in which she promises that Orion can kill Andromedus and avenge the murder of his wife and child if he marries her. Orion jumps at the opportunity for revenge, and the pair enter into a marriage of convenience. Insulted and hell-bent on punishing Libra for denying him, Andromedus declares war. As war moves through the Milky Way, Libra finds that it's not just her life that she must protect, but her heart as well. What started off as a loveless marriage to Orion turns into something more, something both terrifying and exciting. Fighting the war and battling her mounting desire, Libra must be decisive on the battlefield and in her relationship in order to keep her life. We have After Hours by Evelyn Lee, and it says, welcome to Lilith's Lounge. Have your invitation ready and leave your inhibitions at the door. Inside this Black-owned kink club, consent is our favorite form of foreplay. Eyes meet across the room, boundaries are tested and redrawn, and every encounter has the potential to fulfill your fantasies. Indulge in your discreet decadence. Your bracelet will tell us how far you're willing to go. And this is a series of, I guess, short stories, novellas about this club, and I have just been missing Evelyn Lee. I have been itching for a reread of Elevator Pitch, and in the meantime, until I actually decide to do that, I thought, why not try out this little cute anthology situation? It sounds good. It sounds spicy. It sounds good. and I need all of that. And then 2 more, and then we're gonna be done, friends, because y'all know I'm not gonna actually read all these books, but I like to have choices in my life. We have His Grace the Duke, which is the second book in the Second Son series by Emily Rath. So again, in the vein of continuing series, before I forget what happened. So in this one, the first book is called Beautiful Things, and in this one we are following Rosalie, who is unmarried and near destitute. She has 2 choices: snag a wealthy gentleman or take work as a governess. Neither option appeals to her, and so she kind of sees her future as a cage. So when she receives an invitation to Alcott Hall, she believes she's there to meet the Dowager Duchess of Norland, the mysterious childhood friend of her late mother. Instead, Rosalie is thrust in the middle of a house party of eligible high society ladies, all desperate to win the hand of the new, conveniently single Duke. Hilarity ensues as Rosalie dodges the attentions of the officious Duke and weathers the censure of the other guests, all while trying to unravel the mystery of her invitation. And then there's the gentleman. The more Rosalie tries to avoid the high society husband hunt, the more she finds herself charmed by 3 different men. There's Lord James, the Duke's younger brother, who is the secret Duke in all but name. Lieutenant Renly, recently returned from the West Indies and begrudgingly looking for a wife of his own. And the tempestuous Mr. Burke, who irks Rosalie to no end. And so, hold on, I need some water. And then the last book I'm going to mention I actually already read, so it'll be very brief. And that is This Safe Darkness by Alexis Marigold. This is the first book in the Souls and Shade series. In this, we follow 30-year-old Aurel Bryn, who knows the best way to avoid death is to play by the rules of a society that only values women as wives and wombs. Though it would be nice to reclaim the dream life her ex-husband stole from her, Aurel would gladly settle for a loveless engagement that exempts her from being among the 10 unwed, childless women drafted for the annual hunt. It is supposed to be an honor being selected to leave their underground utopia to eliminate the souls, humans who have been mutated with corrupt magic by exposure to the sun. But Aurel knows it's a glorified death sentence, especially for someone who's already in a daily battle with their own body. When her desperate attempts at enticement fail and she's cast above in the fatal world of light, an unexpected ally challenges Aurel to find a new dream of living and maybe even loving out of spite. To do that, there are a few lines she won't cross to uncover the true monsters before becoming one herself, or something even worse. Pray. And so, yeah, friends, this is a duology that sounds really good. It has some chronic illness representation, and you know I love that. So, yeah, friends, we have done it. We have made it through all of the books that I'm hoping to read this summer, and we have started the setup for my TBR table. So this side will be the TBR, this side will be the wrap up, and yeah. And eventually we'll have some cute decorations to go on the table, but that is not the priority right now. But when it happens, you know, I'll show you. And yeah, I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Anything that you do to support me and my channel, friend, I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have the best day that you possibly can. Remember to stay safe in this heat because it is hot as hell outside. And yeah, hope you have the best day you possibly can. I think I already said that. But anyway, I really mean it. Bye, friends.